I don't know. Hugh looks pretty good in the Deadpool Wolverine.
I didn't know I was going to go into this movie crying. That's what I didn't. It teared me up. It was so much more emotional than I expected. Maybe it's the jet lag. I don't know. Maybe I was just like, I'm so tired. Why?
Did you come out like
No, I really
heartfelt?
teared up in the third act. I thought it was great. I think this is the best of the three, so I'm very excited for people to see it.
Oh, that's exciting. Thank you.
wanted to ask, how do you guys feel like Tom and Maddie have evolved as a couple? Because you spent a lot of time together at this point.
Oof.
Is de-evolution a thing too?
Yeah, I think we'll always have like this. I feel like our family is like the heart of the beating heartbeat, and I feel like we evolved in the sense of like allowing him to go, Sonic to go and do his thing. He's more independent. He's learning how to be a leader, and I feel like whether it's the talks alone with his dad or being together, I feel like we've poured in so much that you see it on screen, the advice that he's giving or the feelings that you feel when you walked out with, your tears in your eyes, because it was really heartfelt.
Yeah.
But I also think like we're always going to be there whenever they need us, you know?
Yeah. I think they've grown in a way that they're seeing their boy grow up and everything Tika said as well. It's just, this was sort of unexpected. He came into our lives in the first movie and was a real source of joy for us, and we were for him. And as we continue through this journey of sort of being these parental figures for him, you're watching your kid go through adolescence and then become a teenager, and of course growth comes along with that. And it's also like do
you think eventually you guys will adopt the whole clan?
We're just gonna have.
I mean, like legally or yeah.
Well, it depends on how many more
I'm not sure anybody else will take them in, to be honest. I think that...
they all want to stick together. Sonic's like, come on in, more.
James, who do you think looks better in yellow, Supersonic or Wolverine?
Oh, boy, you're really making me give you a real easy answer. I gotta say Supersonic. But that's because, Wolverine and I always had the rivalry there. So, but I don't know, Hugh looks pretty good in the Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah, it was surprising how well he pulled off yellow, because it's not my color at all.
No, I just get all jaundiced.
I look amazing in yellow.
No, I definitely look like...
Yeah, I do.
You do.
Yeah. This
right
is closer to it, but yeah.
That's more of a...
Yeah, but yellow's
chartreuse.
Still good on me.
I'm not sure that's yellow, but it still looks good on you.
But James and I, we look like we have liver problems.
Yes,
yeah.
you would look
but
like
beautiful
that.
eyes, though.
It's true.
You do have beautiful
Can't go outside without sunglasses, but beautiful eyes.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for your time. I love the movie.
So
thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Krysten, first off, there's not a lot of people who can say they've slug crawled on the floor with Jim Carrey. So is that the moment in the script where you're like, yeah, I'm on board?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, of course. Well, I was on board right when they said Jim Carrey and I get to work with him. And then when it was happening, kind of realizing that I'm doing a physical comedy scene with the king of physical comedy in the only movie he's doing at this point, coming out of retirement to do Sonic 3. It was like, holy shit. Like, this is so incredible. I'm somebody who grew up watching his movies and his crazy faces and all the stuff he does and wanting to do that. And getting to work with him, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
He was my first interview, so they threw me in the deep end. So I'm still on the Jim Carrey high right now. So on that note, what's your favorite Jim Carrey movies?
So I mean, Dumb and Dumber, it was definitely the one that I would watch over and over and over and over and over. All of them.
Also, I heard you have a Jim Carrey impression. Is that
God,
true?
Who told you that?
I'm just a little bird.
I loved him in
What's your
Living
favorite?
Color.
What's your favorite quote? Can you do a Jim Carrey impression for me?
I could do so many, but I feel embarrassed now that I can't do it. It's good. It's good.
Alrighty, then everybody's got an alrighty. I'll do it if you do it.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I feel very nervous.
I bet yours is better than mine, but I didn't mean to put you on the spot, so that's okay. Now, Colleen, as the only person who's voiced your character in multiple mediums, what do you feel like is the biggest difference between Tails in the movie compared to Tails in the game?
I think it's where he finds himself, in space and time. Like, the movies, it's the beginning of their relationship, whereas the games, the ones that I've worked on, it's already an established relationship. And until Frontiers, there wasn't a lot of dialogue in the games. There's here and there, but for the most part, it's just kind of call out. So I would have these massive scripts of just like, let's go, we gotta go, like, come on, Sonic, man, and to have this more grounded and more serious and more dramatic scene work with these characters is really cool.
That's awesome. Now, Krysten, I don't want to put you on the spot again.
Oh God, here we go.
I know you can't say anything about Jessica Jones, so I'm not. So I wanted to know. Brad Winderbaum recently said that if picking any of the Defenders characters to do a show after Daredevil, it would be Jessica Jones. So I was just curious about what your reaction was
Brad
to hearing
Winderbaum
him
said
say
that?
Yes.
Well, that's really exciting to hear. Yeah, isn't that the guy who makes the call about that?
I think, pretty sure.
Come on, Brad.
Yeah, so let's get it going.
Let's get it going.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. I'll be ready.
Last question for you, Colleen, is how do you feel like Tails has grown in this compared to the second one? And are there any personality traits of Tails that you're still excited to explore further?
I want to see more and more gadgets. I want to see more and more of his genius and his tinkering and what else he can do. And I think he's grown so much, and he's coming into his own, and he's getting more confident, and feels like he's part of the team, and he's also part of this family, and he's just so sweet. I love
That's what I want to see from him too, is more of the technology side of things. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, both of you.
Thank you so much.
Can we do the Jim Carrey impression after the camera's cut off?
I thought you were going to ask her for Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Oh, that's all I got. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We're doing a little footsie action underneath the camera here.
We're connecting.
By the way, can I tell you, nice suit, Goat Milker.
Thank you, Goat Milker.
Have you had any fans start calling you that yet?
No, not yet.
Because that would be rude.
Yeah, don't call me that. It's insulting.
I want to say, not a lot of people can say that they have the honor of shaving Jim Carrey's head. So the question I want to ask is, do you own a lock of Jim's hair now?
I wish I did, but I don't. It was, I was in the moment, and I was very focused on the task and not cutting too close to the scalp.
What are you doing, man? You got a 401k set up or something? What do you need to get you need to preserve it for humanity, man.
I know. I should
clone him.
I should. Oh, we could use a lot of Jims.
Yeah, I agree.
Which we get in the movie.
Now, actually, ironic.
Yeah. It's a segue.
Agent Stone's a big part of the finale, right? I know you can't talk a lot about that, but without going into specifics, what do you think was going through Agent Stone's mind in that finale, that big scene?
With this movie, there's just so much at stake. So I think it was just like the true feeling of what he could lose and what really everyone could lose in the moment, I think. I think that's pretty much what I can say about it. I just think, I think it's just like, just fear and worry and fear of loss.
I think that's a really great answer.
Yeah.
You spilled it without spoiling anything.
Yeah.
You did it.
There we go.
Yeah, you did it. Now, Stone also, he's got a lot of great moments in this. I mean, you just get better and better with each movie, man.
Thanks,
but Stone has a great moment with Tails where they really almost bond over being sidekicks. So do you think that conversation in any way changes his opinion of Team Sonic?
I think so. I think there's an element for sure where maybe not necessarily Team Sonic, but I think just Tails, I think he sees kind of a kinship, a similarity, maybe a little bit of, I wish I had what Tails had.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if his opinion necessarily changes about Sonic so much.
Now, the Sonic fans love Agent Stone, right? And you've only been really in the movies, and then you've got a little bit part in the comic that connects to Sonic 2. So has there been any scuttlebutt about Agent Stone appearing in other mediums? Have you heard anything like that, or is that just wishful thinking?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. I would welcome it.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, the fans have been so incredible. I've seen the fans asking for Stone in the games, for spin-offs and stuff, and it's really, really flattering. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I want Agent Stone. I'm going to say it on record right now. But I want all Agent Stone and all the Sonic things. Please do it.
I also do want Agent Stone and all the Sonic things too.
I love how much we're cutting the camera in this interview.
Out of sheer humility. I'm being so humble right now.
Dude, I always love getting to talk to you. I'm glad we were able to work through this jet lag together.
Yeah. I'm still working on it.
Yeah, me too. First off, how much does it cost to print out a script in 24 karat gold ink?
Thousands of dollars, but worth every penny.
I would imagine so. Now, assuming Jim doesn't come back to play Robotnik again, is that a role that you would ever recast? And if not, Who is an antagonist that you could see going forward as Sonic's main big baddie in the future?
Wow, that's quite a question. I mean, honestly, I can't imagine anyone other than Jim playing Robotnik. But where we go from here, there's going to need to be a lot of discussion about what the next steps are, and a lot of it we'll obviously have to wait though until this comes out and we see where things land. But yes, it's very exciting to be thinking about where things could go from here.
You have ideas though?
Oh, I've always got ideas.
Oh man, that's exciting. Obviously, we know how much Sonic loves chili dogs, but how come Sonic's never eating Sonic chili dogs?
That's so meta. I'm not even sure we could wrap our heads around that. That's a great question though, because that's Sonic is a restaurant, and I don't know. Do they sell chili dogs?
Yeah,
they probably
do. Yeah.
All right, something to look into. Good note.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Rouge the Bat is one of the few playable characters from Sonic Adventure 2 that doesn't appear in this movie. Was there any particular reason for her exclusion?
I mean, not specifically. I think we were all very focused on Shadow, and when you have a cast that's already of this size, I mean, there's 4 CG characters in this movie. It's like you want to be careful and not throw too many in the mix. Like Shadow, his backstory is so important. It's so important that we get that right. But it's a Shadow that those elements are within a Sonic movie, so it's like it really has to be balanced. Everything story-wise needs to be in proper proportion, and then also adding Gerald obviously into the mix, to Gerald and Ivo. So very quickly your screen real estate shrinks as you bring in these interesting characters and you want to do interesting things with them and tell give great story arcs. So no, it's what served us really well in these films, I think, is just this slow, purposeful rollout. I mean, going back to movie 1, it was just Sonic and Robotnik. We started so simple, and then just kind of taking our time and bringing in the characters one by one, and just making sure that we do a great job with telling their stories. I think has always been the best blueprint.
On the subject of Shadow, how perfect is Keanu? I mean, did he surpass every expectation that you had?
100%. I mean, having him at the premiere last night, getting to spend time with him, and just I think it's just been so great to see this through his eyes. I think he knew there was a big fandom out there, but I don't think he had any idea like just how big. And I think now he's starting to really get a sense of just the overwhelming popularity of Shadow. And I'm so excited for him because, I think he felt a lot of pressure to deliver a great performance and to give the fans a great movie Shadow. And I think he absolutely delivered.
Last question for you. In the first Sonic, there's a speed Easter egg, right? And Sonic says pop quiz hot shot and all that, and now Keanu is in the Sonic universe. So in this movie there's a scene where you guys are showing Casper. So does that mean you're going to cast Devon Sawa for the next one?
Oh, interesting. That's an interesting idea. There's also another speed reference. I don't know if you caught it in this movie where Robotnik is grilling his grandfather and he says the speed of light divided by the speed of sound is divided by the speed of the bus in the movie Speed. So we have multiple speed Keanu references. They just find their way into the movie. I can't explain it.
But no Point Break references?
Actually, yes. Via con Dios at the end when Robotnik says, he's talking to Shadow and says Via con Dios. That's a Point Break reference.
Thank you so much for your time.
Of course, my pleasure.